Alright, I am back with food and something to drink, and it's time to go into Kingsmouth. And Kingsmouth is overrun by zombies, and we're supposed to figure out what happened there. As you can see, we're surrounded by bees in this area. There are all the bees. Ooh.
Promoted. Faction rank increased. Congratulations, novice.
Thank you. That's new.
Don't worry, kid. You haven't gone back in time. I just happen to be the last of the cowboys. Got your southern welcome right here. Mesquite beans, Texas style. Good ought to face evil on a full stomach. Name's Boone. I'm a troubleshooter. You and I need to have a powwow before you continue your little crusade. You Templars may be taking the high road, but just watch you don't get saddle rash from the high horse, okay? Sure, you can be divided in purpose, but we gotta stand united against darkness. This ain't my first rodeo. I know we're gonna need all the unity we can get. Don't mean to say you stepped into hell, but when the wind blows west, you can just about smell the brimstone. All we know is death and fog came from the sea, or someone brought it back with them. If I was a gambling man, I'd put money on that someone still being around. Bunch of survivors holed up in Kingsmouth town. Follow that main road and the sound of gunfire, you'll come to the sheriff's office. Kid, whatever your reasons for being here, you find out what those people died for, and you bring a reckoning. Partner Wolf and I ride for a higher authority. When you need to know us, you'll know us. You got a whole lot to learn about the secret world first, kid. And when you're all learned up, then you gotta understand what you learned.
This really annoys me that they did not manage to fix that. That's my phone. Alright, I will be right back. Well, the school is sending messages. What does that actually mean? Downloading game data. Background downloading can be adjusted. Why am I actually downloading anything in the background? Is that why I can't hear anything? Is that why? Oh, fine. Alright, a fistful of zombies. Jack Boone has a zombie problem. He shoots them, but they keep coming back. Finding out more about the zombies, what makes them tick, could go a long way towards solving that problem.
This forest crawls. Gets my fingers itching for two matters. One, the other, figuring out a way to keep them down. It ain't right the way the dead walk the earth. They deserve their 6 feet, same as everyone else. I've sworn to keeping guard here, and you've got places to be. But nothing's stopping you from culling the herd as you go. Hell, figure out what makes them tick and how to make that ticking stop, and I'll buy you a beer at the apocalypse. So go on, kid. Saddle up. The end of the world waits for no man.
This is actually really, a thing I really like too, is that every quest has their own introduction, it's voiced. It's really nice. Alright, let's kill those 8 zombies. Come here, people. You have to die. There are more. Let's take these. Jump on a car to trigger the alarm. Dang it. Ignite gas cans. Examine the half-eaten corpse. What half-eaten corpse? Right, it was somewhere up there, right? A policeman's corpse. A note in the dead policeman's hand asks him to get more ammunition and then return to the sheriff's office ASAP. This policeman obviously can't return, but the ammo is still direly needed. The note says, "Don't try to be a hero, just get all the ammo you can find and get the hell back here. Lives depend on it." The note is signed, Deputy Andy. The sheriff's office in town is clearly in distress. You better grab the ammo from the pickup and find Deputy Andy. Alright. I still need to find the body. I believe it's over here. Yeah. Die. Half-eaten corpse. Alright. Let's go to Kingsmouth. One particular thing I really like is the way the quest system is actually set up. It will bring you basically always to a next location for a quest, which is why you only can have one type of main quest. As you can see, here we have the sheriff's office. Welcome to Kingsmouth. Alright, let's see. Good work on the report. The information regarding the reanimated dead is useful, though not particularly surprising. Jack Boone, now there's a familiar name. He pops up in reports everywhere. The man travels far and wide, and always seems to be on site before our agents. His factional allegiances are unknown, though he does not appear to be associated with either the Illuminati or the Dragon. It would pay to keep an eye on him. And with that, we got a chaos focus, which is good. Because I probably switch to chaos. Maybe. I might also just do switching to the pistols and do the pistols main and do the fist as secondary for backup heals. I don't know yet. I'll figure that out. And as we notice here, there are people here. And up there is Deputy Andy. Deputy Andy is a very, very sad person. But for now, here you go. I found your ammo. No, that's all okay. All right. Hi, Deputy Andy. Can we talk with you?
I wanted to be a police officer since as far back as I can think. I had a lot of time to myself growing up. I watched all the cop shows, again and again. The old shows. When a good cop was always a good cop. When you knew you could trust a badge, right? You knew before the half hour was up, they'd get the guy. Out of the basement. So that was my goal. Plain and simple. I was single-minded about it. You ask anyone, and they'll say, "Hey, that Andy, he sure is single-minded." Now, I wasn't what you'd call a straight-A student, but I got there. And when Sheriff Bannerman swore me on as deputy, gave me my badge, I'd been up all night ironing this shirt. It was crisper than you'd believe. Well, that day I was just as happy as a clam at high tide. Sure chokes me up seeing Main Street all done up in buntings and so empty. The kids love that Halloween parade, you know? Then they'd all bus on up, bang away for the haunted hay rides, ever since our local amusement park closed down. There were troubles. It was before my time. Still, what town doesn't have a little trouble? With cultists? There was that repeat killer, I wouldn't say serial killer, but he came from the mainland. And that mess with the college kids at the old hunting cabin? Bears, we reckoned. Jeez, it's all laid out like that, it does sound pretty bad, huh? This, right now, is definitely the worst we've ever had, though. This is the real storm of the century. If we push on through it, I am not looking forward to taking a shovel to the streets after. Oh, I knew everyone in Kingsmouth. A safe community isn't a spectator sport. I memorized that one. And Sheriff Bannerman preferred to have me walking the beat, you know, while she handled house calls. That suited me just fine. You know, our folks were a good bunch. They only cause a ruckus when they've had too much of the, you know what. But recently I got talking to Sandy. That guy's pretty philosophical. You wouldn't know it to look at him. I mean, I don't personally have a problem with bikers. I'd like a motorcycle myself. Anywho, you made me really consider it, you know, whether you really ever knew a person. I told him how in second grade I met Anna Redmond behind the gym every day for 2 months. We would hold hands. I thought I knew her pretty good. Just left town all of a sudden one day. Halloween. Jeez. Always Halloween. Moose says it's best to talk things out. So, here I am, talking. Mom bought the kittens and Dad drowned them. That's the facts of it. I don't like speculating much, that's one step away from guessing. And the sheriff, she taught me never to guess. Mom's version was that Dad loved things too much. Got a bit crazy sometimes, hugged real hard. Didn't always want to let go. The morning he stuffed them in a bag and took them out to sea, he was full of too much feelings. Didn't know what to do with them. We took him down to Journey's End, out behind the bed and breakfast. It's where the journey ended. Jeez, Dad always wore these masks, you know? For the longest time, you figure you know someone. Most of the time, really, we got no idea.
Yeah, like I said, he is actually kind of traumatized. The poor guy. Alright, let's go into the sheriff's office.
Heck if I know where you folks keep coming from, but anyone who walks through that door alive pretty much gets my amnesty. Something in your past colors you sourly to a badge, I'd ask you to call it quits in return. We agreeable? Well then, I'm Sheriff Bannerman, and this down-home little state of emergency is what's left of my jurisdiction. Sure, we tried to hold as much of the town as we could at first, more out of nostalgia than any civil defense plan. I won't tell you Kingsmouth was a slice of heaven in a snow globe, but it was ours. Now it ain't. There was always something running under in this town. Maybe what's spilled out now. If that's how it works, I couldn't say hand on heart we didn't have it coming. But that fog, and the things in it, they didn't pick and choose when they came in. Most folks didn't stand a chance. Now, I can see you're armed. I won't kick up any fuss about that. Straight truth is, you'll need to be. Just don't go thinking that means you're deputized as such. Heaven knows if there was ever a time and a place for the right to bear 'em, you're looking at it. Henry has his word of God, that Roger woman has her crystal ball, and Norma out on the point's got a 12 gauge. My money's on Norma.
Yep, my money would be on Norma too. And another thing I really like about this game, there's many little hints just in the environment. For example, you can go closer in here and you can see the missing persons. Have you seen us? You can see here Norma, Henry, Roger and Woman, Ed, Krieg and Ellie are accounted for. We will meet each and every one of them. Contact Rats for supplies, emergency frequencies, safe house. Only the Kingsmouth Congressional remains, everything else is overrun. And missing people, and this is the area we're looking at.
Now you are a sight for sore eyes.
There's a note. Helen, I'm not leaving my home. I will be fine. I have raised 3 boys, and if they couldn't break me, then nothing can. You're always welcome to visit. Wouldn't say no to the company. Just bring your gun and some extra shells if you can spare any. Not saying it's lonely, but without Larry or the boys, there ain't much talking in the house. Just my 12 gauge and the dad, and they don't talk back. And then the sticky note will send someone to check on Norma, and that's us. We are going to check on Norma. Dr. Bannerman is the husband of Helen. He doesn't look so good, doesn't he, Doctor? Alright, we will do that later because we need that for a quest. Hack check the computer. We do that also
You are
later.
a sight for sore eyes.
Let's have a little chat with her.
Well, I don't mind telling you, this makes no damn sense to me. And I hate to be the one drawing a blank on Final Jeopardy. But right now, folks just need me to look like I got all the answers. The questions, they come later, along with the grieving. Then, after a little time, folks will lose their hankering for the questions. Fact is, a few of them in high places get downright evasive about it. I never do quit. It's a bad habit. I'm just a sheriff after all, not some forensic detective like on that CSI. Thought I had it the worst when the Ravens came around years ago. Was an ugly time for Kingsmouth. Not the kind that makes it to the news. The kind we keep inside. Now, I see those Ravens are all back in town. They with you? Or should I bring them in for questioning? If you're planning on striking out of town, Kingsmouth hospitality dictates I gotta set you right. And I need you to keep this on the down low. But there's worse out there than our undead problem. Worse than anything that shuffles along on two legs, that's for sure. I'm about as pleased as can be that I didn't catch a better look. Could be the kind of thing that gives a nightmare nightmares. You want to stay in the light. Keep out of the trees, out of the fog. We got a few folks left holding out across the island. Well, that was last time I could check, and I'm an optimist. Pays to see the donut, not the hole. Red's Shack at Tolba Bay, the Innsmouth Academy, the Wabanaki Indian Grounds. They should still be safe. Could be the others like you, that wolf fella, have set up camp out there. Toasting marshmallows and such. And steer clear of the pumpkin patch, eh? Just a feeling. Guess you could say I got lucky. Around the time this mess kicked off, I was up at the old lighthouse checking in on Sam Krieg, Maine's best-selling export. Oh sure, we do that fancy book learning around these parts too. Never much cared for horror stories or the man himself. Waving a rifle around in a dressing gown, juiced up, heck of a disturbance of the peace. Well, turns out that was the last of the piece. I gotta write this down, Sheriff. This is goddamn manna from heaven, he says to me when the fog let go. I left him magnuming that opus and hightailed it back to town. Tried to bring Ellie Franklin with me, but Kingdom Coming couldn't pry her from that mansion. Real monster house in the West Island. You can't miss it. I'd appreciate you letting them know we're still here, for when they're done playing survivalists. You sure you want to be talking to me about all this stuff? I mean, I'm probably flattered that you think I'm in on it all. Truth is, I'm always the last to be invited to the midnight meetings at Town Hall. Reckon I must be all thumbs when it comes to secret handshakes. I know this island's cut from a different cloth. A damn weird cloth. Sure as there's a difference between being homely and being plain stupid. Take it from me, no one around these parts is a dope. Not all the time. Everybody knows, or knows someone who knows. Salem's got nothing on us. We had an episode with torches and pitchforks only 25 years ago now. But my job, I gotta do it wearing this police jacket, not a robe and a wizard hat.
She's so chill. Sheriff Bannerman believes that mounting surveillance equipment near the police station can provide advance warning of any impending attacks. She needs help to find useful equipment around town. Even a small town like Kingsmouth should have some security measures. Perhaps some of the local businesses have installed surveillance systems. Check the phone book for likely candidates. We will do that after we watch the cutscene.
Well, in our yearly budget to put the town under martial law, no, the good old boys on the council were all about thrifty spending, at least above the table. So I squirreled away where I could for some surveillance equipment. Police business, sure, let's call it civic awareness. I'm talking your webcams, your motion sensors. Oh, don't look so surprised. Kingsmouth might be out in the sticks, but we have electricity and everything. Running water in tourist season. Come back when this whole damn mess is blown over, I'll give you the tour far as the old lighthouse. But, to get to the point of it, seems to me we should bring that gear out of mothballs and get it hooked up around town. Gives me some early warning and the others a break from my collection of Jeopardy reruns.
Alright, it's kind of weird that they're starting you out actually on this particular styles mission, because it can actually a bit be frustrating, because there's some jumping sections in there that can actually kill you really quick. So I always thought some of the stuff is very a bit more difficult, or advanced, you know. All right, we go to the museum, to the loan office, and to the gas station. Well, let's go. I love this area. I really like I think they designed the town perfectly. As in, like, it's just so perfect. It's creepy and mysterious. Look, there's someone. Maybe you can kill it. Who's there? Who are you? The dumpster diver. Alright. There we are. We got everything. Could have sworn there was like a mini quest in here where you could bring stuff over to, like, packages. There's Susie, or Susie's Diner. Alright. From the museum. And for the museum, you actually have to use the ladder. Oh. Uzziah, this is the one that needs changing. Have it done before I'm back from Bangor. New cameras are in the basement. Remember to fill out the repair form and file it with the museum admins. James Mars, the janitor. Alright, let's go inside. And here you can see a little bit that this is a mining community. The Blue Ridge. And the mining. More from the miners. And this car comes into play when we actually get to the area that has the mines. Alright. Let's do that one. This is one of my least favorite missions, actually. I failed that quite a lot of times.
I think you should go away. If you're going out, you need to go away
I can see that. You are not very stable. Alright, first one done. Alright, this is the part that is actually a bit difficult. Trying to remember. Whew. Barely made it. There he is. I'm sorry. By the way, for people who do trying to get these legends, I'm not sure if they fix that in this version, but in the old version, this was the only time you could have access to this particular honeycomb. Alright, give me my camera. And now we're going to place the cameras. And here we are. All right. Let's head them. So foggy in here. So very foggy in here. Alright, camera number 1. These people are the Council of Venice. They are a neutral faction that everyone kind of hates. Alright, here we are. And we have finished our very first sabotage mission. Station, security system. Initialize the camera system. Ta-da! If you want to, you can now watch actually the feed, which I think is kind of very convenient. Alright. What do you say, huh, Richard? Good news. The camera system you have installed is up and running on our end as well. It is tactically useful for the local officers to see incoming threats. However, we are particularly keen to analyze visual data of the enemy from an R&D perspective. The janitor you encountered showed symptoms of an unfamiliar infection. There were signs of humanity in the midst of his tentacular mutation. We hesitate to classify him without more data. Alright. I'm kind of curious why I haven't gotten money yet. Like... how are people paying for things? Oh look, now we got our pistol. Item power. Item power is represented by the number of pips at the bottom of your item. Yes, we are aware. Right, great. What are you? Elemental. Okay. Now that I have them all, now there's a question, actually. Oops. See, it cost me like money to actually, but how do I get this money? You do not have favor. Get the mark of favor by completing challenges, selling items in the auction house. What? Or trading Aurum on the exchange. Okay. Okay. I guess they will tell me how. Alright. Complete the mission. Elm Street Blues for Deputy Andy. Let's do that. Deputy Andy Gardner is afraid the town will be completely overrun by monsters unless someone steps up and helps contain the undead invasion of Kingsmouth.
Jeez, you never saw anything like this in the cop shows. Well, maybe on cable, not the network ones. You wouldn't know it from looking out there, but before that wicked bad fog rolled in, Kingsmouth was a sleepy little burg. Nothing stronger on the streets than a hot cup of coffee and chocolate-glazed donuts from Susie's. The occasional DUI or domestic disturbance. Human sacrifice. But every town has a dark side, right? We sure are getting a heaped help in the darkness now, eh? The Walking Dead and worse besides taking over our town. Us survivors hold up in here, hoping it's all just a bad dream and we'll wake up to the smell of bacon and maple syrup. But unless someone ups and does something, and soon, all we're gonna wake up to is the smell of rotten flesh. And I don't need another thing to remind me of my dad. Halloween does bring back the memories, eh?
Alright. So another thing we learn, they have a lot of problems with Halloween. And if you may have noticed, when you're looking at the decoration, all this actually happened in Ravenous Horde. Let's find us a Ravenous Horde. It's Halloween, the day of Halloween where this happened. Oh, see, now I got weather. Yay. Well, it's not that bad. The barricades are still standing.
Looks as though we got the situation under control for now.
Great. Then let's find the source of the assaults on the sheriff's office. And that's our source. Alright. It appears we are dealing with bigger problems here than just the reanimated dead. The name Drogue is ringing a lot of bells around here, and I'm told we have plenty of information on these marine creatures on record, on ancient records. We could still use more information, however, particularly about the larger variants with the lobster claws and their general ecology. On that note, they do have some excellent shellfish in that region, worth looking into if you work up an appetite. Yeah, I don't think so. I have that. Alright. We can go to the next area, and since we are going here, we can also pick up another side quest, which is right here. A mutilated corpse. The wounds on a mutilated corpse close to the wood suggest a mauling from something even more dangerous than zombies. Search for the predator.
Visual tracking initiated.
Well, let's see what we can find.
Local bounty detected. Initiating.
Still following the blood trail. Right over there. And it's a Wendigo.
Visual tracking initiated.
We're basically making a little, going a little bit back here, which will lead us actually into another quest. Usually these small ones don't really have a lot to say. Alright, but wasn't the quest around here somewhere? There was a guy who was supposed to be trapped. He was in a bear trap. Where is he? Huh. Weird. Oh no, he was somewhere in here. Oh well. Well, let's go to Norma. My god, that really bothers me. I know he is here. But I can see him. But anyway, we did it. We found another beast. Cool. Here we are. Hello, Norma. Norma's house is surrounded by zombies, and even though she blasts them to pieces with her shotgun, they seem to never stop coming. She is encouraged by the way the bones burn on her bonfire, however. Perhaps incinerating zombies remains as a way of getting rid of them altogether.
Oh, yeah. You'd think these wet bits would just fizzle on the bonfire, but no. They sparkle like kindling wood. That's heartening. Ah, geez, what a mess. Good thing I'm not particular. Now I'm used to getting my hands dirty. Fish guts, childbirth, sutures, the dead. Yeah, maybe I was born for this work. Ah, that don't sound right. Nobody's made for this ungodly work. Except maybe this old thing. So I kill and I chop and I burn, but there's more of them every day, and I feel like I'm pushing a very big stone up a very steep mountain, and it keeps rolling back down. What do you call that? Sisyphean? Or is that when you get a burning in your privates? My idea of culture is reruns of Cheers and, you know, not ancient Greek mythology. Well, the old gal ain't a proper match for everything that turns up on my doorstep. Seems she's too much for most of it. Spreads a bone of dead man's guts all over the place. Well, there's no time to gather it all up before we're right back up in the thick of it. And they never stop coming. They never stop coming.
They never stop coming. Yeah. Alright, let's get our legend here. Unfortunately, we cannot go into her house. But she has 2 legends. So, I will take that. Unfortunately, Norma has nothing to talk about, even though I'm sure she would have some really interesting things to talk about. Oh. Off to the last side. There we go. Let's get us the bones. There we have another slow one. Alright. There's another tiny little quest over there that we can do. Let's see. What's that quest? A box of flares. Of course. Next to a corpse lies a note and a box of signal flares. The note says to the body, next to the body reads, "B wants it done, so you do. We are the morning light. We don't ask stupid fucking questions, we obey our leaders." It also has coordinates of places around the island, spots to shoot up the flares. Go to the marked spots and shoot up the flares to see what happens. Sure. I'll take the flares and shoot one right there. Alright. Oh. Oh no, they just woke them all up. Okay, I think I run. Ow. Ow. No. Oh no. Alright, let's see what I can do. Alright, one's dead. Whew. I guess it got a lot easier. I remember when I ran into that, it was kind of hard. Alright, let's find us more zombies while we're here. We will deal with the ravens at a later point.
Additional assignment received. Initializing.
Defeat undead. Alright, I can do that. I guess he want me to kill this one. Alright. Let's find more. Father Appleby. Alright. Let's see. Which are the other ones we have to kill? I'm trying to remember. It's so dark in here. Yeah, I guess these people, right? Yes. All right, all done. Right, I think I'm supposed to use more. Travel wetly chamblers. More zombie parts. And more zombie parts.
Local bounty detected. Initiating. Special assignment received. Initializing. Special assignment received. Initializing.
Well now, I'm not much fit for entertaining, but I reckon you ain't much in the mood for hospitality either, am I right? Oh, Not a big talker, eh? I'm used to that from a surly husband, and kids more comfortable with kicking a ball around than having a conversation with their ma. Name's Nama. Nama Creed. Raised a family up here before this dungeon thick fog came took him is my story. Helen sent you over to check on me, I reckon. Now, your concern is wicked kind, but I don't need any pitying. I got my shotgun, I got what's left of my wits. I'll manage. Now, this hullabaloo began after the Lady Margaret came back. My husband Larry, the others, we all thought that they'd gone missing out there, that the sea took them. They came back. Whole town could finally breathe again. But then came that fog, like it was following them back to shore. 'Twas right, said they, such birds to slay, that bring the fog and mist. Don't ask me where I got that from. Probably heard it on Oprah. Never got to ask Larry about what happened in those weeks they were gone. Been around gift horses long enough not to look him in the mouth. He was back. Thought life would go on the way life goes on, one day at a time. When the fog lifts enough to see the Lady Margaret laid up in the harbor, covered in that red seaweed, I always wonder if he'd still be here if I had.
Alright, that's it for this week. We will explore the next time the Lady Margaret, the ship, and learn a little bit more about the town that we are in. Thanks for watching and have a lovely day.